Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Dan Robinson to the program tonight, the mastermind behind the New Hampshire-based band Shroud of Bereavement. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing good, and you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Got turned on to you by Zach at Metal Devastation, I think. Metal
Yeah,
PR.
he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a beast with getting band stuff out. I've done a couple different bands for him, and it's always been great. He works with a ton of different people.
Yeah, I met him through Lucy with Metal is the Law.
Okay.
You know, she does a show on Metal Devastation.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Now, I was a little confused. The EP is not out yet, right? It's coming out in July?
No, the EP's out. The album's not out.
Okay. All right.
But the EP actually came out a long time ago. I just re-released it because I went through DistroKid. So a lot of shit happened in the last 10 years. I got married. I had a custody battle. I bought a house. I started a business. So the music was like on the back burner.
Right.
And we were on tour in 2013, and everything stopped totally. So I haven't done any promotion. I haven't done anything in a long time. And in that time, it took me this whole decade to finish this album because the whole band left, and I was just left to do it alone, pretty much. So
channeling your inner Tom Schultz.
Yeah, I try.
All right, then help me with this, because I hope I haven't confused and messed up everything. Is it the EP or the album that's called A Beautiful Winter?
A Beautiful Winter is the album. It's coming out on the 25th next month, but I believe he sent out, I gave a bunch of Bandcamp codes, so you might have got the music already. I'm not sure.
Possibly. I saw the two videos that have come out for Amber Skies and Shadow of My Becoming.
Yep, those are the new album.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, you gave us sort of a Cliff Notes version there with all that's gone on in the last 10 years, but you have you've weathered the storm, so to speak, and we're looking forward to this music coming out. Let's break down the two tunes that I have heard then.
Okay.
Let's see. We got Shadows of My Becoming Part 2 came out first on video. That was the first video released, right?
Yes.
Now, the obvious question I've got to ask then is, you put out Part 2 first and then Part 1.
I did.
What was that all about?
I was just trying to change it up.
Okay. It's just my inner OCD talking here.
Basically, I made the first one that came out, and I paid someone to do the second one, and it wasn't quite ready, so I said screw it and did the second one first.
Okay, gotcha.
But they're both the same song, actually. So if you put those back to back, they're one song. I just split them up for video sake.
Okay. Shadows of My Becoming Part 2 then. The first thing that struck me on this was the drum sound. I thought it was a fantastic drum sound. I was listening to it through headphones.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you do all production yourself as well?
It's kind of half and half. What happened with that is we started recording in 2013 as a band before we went on tour, which we should have finished the album first, but Lycanthia was in the country, so they asked us if we wanted to go with them, and we said sure. So we started the album and recorded all the drums analog through a buddy of mine here, and then we were doing the editing with the piano player / singer, and she quit. So then I was kind of left with everything. And then I did the guitars and the vocals and stuff here. I played half the drums, and our other drummer, the drummer we had, played half the drums. He quit. So I got stuck doing the rest.
Okay. Love the drum sound in this whole thing. And as far as the videos, I love the graveyard shots. That whole bare trees are my favorite, part of scenario once you get into the late fall. I took it that was shot sort of like late fall, or was it early spring?
A little of both, actually. I started doing stuff the spring before this spring, so a while ago, almost like a year ago. And then I kind of wanted to do like when you speed it up and you can see all the seasons. I kind of wanted to see this. The point of that whole song is about life and the rotation and death and how we all die, and just like the trees, all that kind of shit. That was kind of I was trying to portray that in the video, but I didn't get enough snow footage, so I put as much of that in as I could. And that's actually a cemetery that's like 4 houses up from my house.
Nice. I mean, knowing where you are, there's this little movie that I got turned on to that I watch every Halloween. It's not so much horror, but more supernatural in it. A lot of it was shot over New Hampshire. It's called The Legend of Lucy Keys. And
oh wow.
every time it came out like, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe. Kind of campy, but fun. And every
Uh-huh.
time I see like those graveyard shots and that stuff, it just sort of takes me back to that movie. So it's a great image me in my head, you know?
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. The line I loved in this song was, "I kneel anonymously, heating the frost from my heels." That,
Anxiously awaiting the
yeah,
frost from my ear.
anxiously. Yeah, anxiously. Uh,
Yeah, the song was actually originally about a dream I had when I was a child that I've always got. So it's like the vision of when I die. That's what I see. So that was it's kind of a deeper meaning to it. A lot of the stuff's kind of multi-layered, I guess you could say.
yeah, yeah. Great video and track there. So let's move to Amber Sky's Shadow My Becoming Part 1. So I got this down as a spoken word intro, but technically it's a spoken word sort of in the middle of the song, correctly?
That's no, part one is the beginning of the song. So that would
Okay,
be
okay, yes, okay, sorry. Yeah, so you've messed me all up with the part one, part two.
I apologize.
All right. Part one, then okay, opens up with the spoken word. Anytime anybody does that, I love that. I think it's awesome. I love the acoustic into the heaviness. Of course, the drum sound is fantastic. I think I was trying to time it out and look at where it was timing here. The right around the 4 minute and 50 second mark, you got sort of like a piano interlude, goes into like a slightly cleaner vocal, and to my ear, there was a slight tempo change in the song. I thought that was incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah. It kind of breaks down and then slingshots in.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was really cool. You got some female vocals on here, and the other line that I found just amazing on here was the hourglass whispers in silence. I thought that was
Yeah.
really great imagery right there. So,
Yeah,
so
the
the
cycle
total,
of life right there.
yeah. So the total song then, part one and part two, come from parts of it you say come from a dream you had as a child, and then the other parts came into it.
Yes. Yeah, it's like, growing old, all that stuff. So the trees change. Just what the hell is that?
Maybe an incoming call.
Weird. All right, that's gone.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know what I was saying now. It just like totally threw me off.
Is the circle of life, or so the way life goes, or something you were talking about?
Oh yeah, like growing old as I get old, it kind of it's really the whole album's about, well, a lot of stuff. I mean, it's kind of hard to throw it all in one little thing, but getting old in my trade, in the snow in this area, it's just very oppressive in the winter, and you watch everything die in the fall, just like us, like through life, and that's kind of the whole vibe with all that. But I mean, I wrote the album for my daughter, which is a separate thing, so it's kind of hard to explain the whole thing. It was supposed to be a concept album, and it kind of changed, but a lot of the melodies, there's a lot of recurring themes on purpose, stuff like that.
Were these all older too? You say you worked on this for like 10 years. Were there any parts of this that are relatively new, say within the last few years, the last year, that you came up with, or is it mostly based on these older ideas that you had?
I mean, I guess it's kind of all over. They were all pretty much, I got done writing them all in like 2012, 2013. Then we started to track them, and it was supposed to come out in 2014 or 15, but like I said, the band broke up. So
Right.
I hadn't had all the lyrics done. A lot of the acoustic guitar stuff wasn't done. None of the cello stuff was done. Basically, we recorded the drums, pianos, violins, and rhythm guitars, and then the band broke up. So I got stuck doing all the melodies, all the vocals, all the lyrics, all the lead guitar, all the melody, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
now, are you one of these guys that can pick up an instrument, any instrument, and just play it automatically?
I am. I'm not awesome at all of them, but I can play pretty much anything.
I am so jealous, because you incorporate a lot of stuff. You have the dual female vocals, you got cellos, you got violins, you got guitars, obviously your drums, your bass, keys, and stuff like that. Did you have any type of classical background that you drew on this for, like the cellos, the violins, and all that?
No, I did not play the cellos on it.
Okay.
I hired a guy. Actually, I met him through Fiverr, and he's amazing. He's a kid. He's only like 21, and he came up with. He sent me, I believe it was like 18 tracks of cellos, all harmony. He just orchestrated the whole album pretty much on cello, and sent it to me. So I gave him like a rough idea. I'm like, I kind of want stuff here and there. And I put a video on YouTube. I don't know if anybody saw it, probably not, but I originally wrote everything on piano, on a synth. I was going to just do because I couldn't find the guy I usually use. Like we've got a lot more music out than people think. Our first album in 2007 came out, and we had a live violin player, this guy, Andy Happel. You might know him because he's done shows, and you're from Vermont, right?
Yes.
You ever heard of the band Thanks to Gravity? It's not metal. It's like a kind of like Dave Matthews kind of thing.
It rings a bell. Yeah.
Amazing musician, probably one of the best musicians I ever had the chance of playing with. He was awesome, but he's just super busy. And I just I just gave up. I didn't have the time, and I was like, whatever. And then I luckily found that guy on Fiverr. But we used to have a violin player who did all the strings and cellos for their previous albums as well. So
yeah, because I was looking back, you guys do have a lot of music. I mean, the band's roots actually go back to like 1996, correct?
Yes, long time.
Yeah. And I was reading about one tune you put out, I think it was in 2001, A Rose for Dying Muse. Took you a year to record that one track?
Yeah, I wrote it for my best friend who died.
Hmm.
So that one was very visual for me because I tried to write all the parts as movements, kind of like where I was at the time. So like, when he died, and then when we're at the church, then after at the funeral, and all the stuff that I went through. Like there's a funeral march for when I was a pallbearer. So that was like what I was feeling when it happens. I tried to portray my emotions through the whole thing. And I was mourning, and it was really hard. And I had a bunch of other shit going on too. So
yeah. Was reading your influences, everything from Beethoven to Mozart to Candlemass to King Diamond. You kind of run the whole gamut there.
Yeah, King Diamond's one of my favorite musicians of all time. I love King Diamond.
Yeah.
And Candlemass is awesome, of course. And I love anything classical. I love Vivaldi. Lots of influence there for sure.
What got you into classical? I'm kind of curious.
Actually, my brother, he just discovered it one day, and he's like, "Oh, check this out!" And it was on a cassette. It was like a Mozart tape, and I listened to it. I was like, "Wow, this stuff's so good." So I went to Walmart or whatever. I don't even know if it was Walmart back then. We were old, so whatever. I got like it was like a box set where it had all of his work. So I got all the stuff on cassette, and I got a Beethoven one too. So that's kind of where it started.
Huh. Now, where did you? Let's go back in time and do a little "This Is Your Life." Where did your musical whole journey in life start? Was it from a very young age, something you discovered in school? Were you like in band in school, or how did it all begin for you?
I was my older brother's buddy was into like Slayer and Metallica and stuff, and I remember he brought it home. I was 10 years old. I remember him bringing it down, and I saw it. I'm like, dude, I got to get that. And like a couple weeks later, my uncle just got Master of Puppets as it came out, and he's like, "Oh, this is crap. Do you want it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah," because I remember the album cover,
Yeah.
So at age 10, right around 1986, 87, somewhere in that area, I got Master of Puppets, and that was it. And then I hounded my father to buy me a set of drums, and he got me one. So that's kind of how I learned music as a drummer.
Self-taught?
Yep.
And then you got into what, bass and guitar and synth and the rest of that stuff, all self-taught on that as well?
Yeah, my brother was a guitarist, so him and I used to jam a lot. And when he wasn't around, I'd screw around on his guitar. So that's kind of how I taught myself how to play guitar.
Oh, very cool. I'm still so jealous. You also have a solo
curse sometimes.
What's that?
I said it's sometimes a curse because, I don't want to go out and lay brick and, work my day job. I just want to do music, and I just never have time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I wish I had more time to do music. It's painful to not be able to do the things you want to do,
Exactly. I mean, I would love to do, 2 or 3 interviews like this a night, and it just doesn't happen,
That'd be awesome.
You've also got a solo project called Still the Seas?
I do. Yeah. I've been working on that. Do you know the band Morgion?
Mm-hmm.
Their bassist, we did a tour with them back in 2006, I think. So we always talked about doing a side project, and he eventually moved out from California to up here because his wife is from here, and we put some stuff together, and it just kind of fizzled out. So I have a bunch of songs I wrote for that, and then I've been working on more stuff since. So I've got almost a full album of a solo project that's going to be kind of like Anathema Ish, Tiamat, those kind of bands.
Okay, yeah. Now, obviously, you must have some sort of a home studio set up there at the house.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So you say back years ago, most of the band quit on you. Have you put together the band back since then with like new members, or is it still just
I
mostly
want.
you? I'm looking at going forward now once this album comes out.
I would love to, but I live in the woods and nobody wants to play. All my friends are old, so nobody wants to play anymore.
Wow. Wow.
It's really depressing. I mean, I don't really miss playing local shows, but I do like playing abroad. I'm playing around here. It sucks. Like you end up doing the same circuit and seeing the same people, and people are like, yeah,
Sure.
yeah, I'll just catch them next week, and then less and less people show up, and you get home at 4 o'clock in the morning and load everything in, and then go to work the next day. It just sucks. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'd love to get a band and maybe do some festivals here and there or something like that.
Mm. Now, speaking of playing abroad, I was looking on the band Facebook page. You're getting some really good reviews worldwide for this music you're putting out. That's got to be pretty satisfying for you.
It is. It's, after 10 years, a lot of doubters, a lot of people didn't think I was going to get it done, saying, oh, Dan's lame. The amount of shit that happened in my life over that 10-year period, a lot of people don't realize how much shit happened. I've always wanted to do music. It's always been on my mind. I want to finish the album. I got to finish it. And all my loved ones are sick of hearing it. Oh, you and your stupid album. I finally got it done, and people are
Yeah.
liking it. So the just knowing that people are hearing it is making me very happy. I can't complain.
Yeah.
I wish we had more subscribers. I shut down the Shroud, the official Shroud YouTube page, and I started a new one fresh, and we only have 27 subscribers. So I've got to start from the bottom, and
Yeah.
nobody knows who I am anymore because I've been gone for 10 years. So I'm starting at the bottom. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to ask you this, we haven't talked about it much. You've mentioned it, you do masonry work.
I do.
I've seen some of the pictures. Some of the stuff you've done is amazing over there. That
Oh,
I went
thanks, man.
to your business page. I was like, holy shit, you play like sort of, to me, it's like heavy, doomy, earthy music. I'm thinking Black Sabbath's original name was Earth. You're out there, working in the elements with elements from the earth. Do you see any type of correlation in all of that? Maybe not the Sabbath thing, but just the whole earth thing.
Sometimes, yeah, like I guess the age of things. If I look at something that I built and I know it's going to be around long after I die, it's kind of cool knowing that my stain is here forever, at least for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get to see a lot of scenery because I go to a lot of places. I work all over the place, so
yeah,
I'm a huge admirer of New Hampshire. I love this state. I just love nature in general.
I mean, it looked like some stuff you'd done, were like houses in the woods. Another place that was either like on a lake or on the ocean or something, there was water there, and it's just amazing stuff. How did you get started in masonry?
I quit school to become a rock star, and I ended up being a rock star, just not the one I wanted to be.
But no, it's fantastic work. You can tell you're very meticulous with both of your crafts, judging from the pictures of the work I saw you do in your mason business, and judging from the songs and the sounds that I'm hearing coming through my headphones. Listen to this. I can tell you're a very meticulous person who is not going to get it put it out until it's done right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have OCD and ADD, so it's
okay.
It's a tough life.
I can identify with
that. And also, I've learned from the past. I put things out that I'm not happy with. So this album, I said, you know what? I probably could have rushed it and got it done like 5 years ago if I really insisted. But I'm like, I'm going to put out the album of my life that I'm happy with. The first time in my life that I've ever done anything that I'm just about 100% happy with. And that's a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely, because we are all our own worst critics at times. So, yeah.
Like our career started weird because the first album I put out was a bunch of demos because this one label wanted to beat me before I put my album out on the other label. So they didn't make me, but he's like, oh, let's put all your demos out. And I'm like, all right. So I put an album of demos out. It's not considered an album because it's a compilation of demos, but it is the whole album that I'm actually working on next, which will be done this year. So I have another album after this coming out.
Wow. So you're sort of in a total what's the word I'm looking for? Burst of musical stuff right here.
Yeah, I'm making up for lost time, man. I've been doing videos and all kinds of shit that I didn't know how to, I had to teach myself how to have a recording studio. Like I taught myself that in 10 years, how to do the videos, did all the music. And I have 3 projects I'm working on. I actually had another one, this band called Dark Passenger. I don't know if you heard of that, but we did that in 2012. So when we did the While We Mourn EP, Shroud kind of broke up for a while, and I did Dark Passenger, which was like Black and Death Doom kind
Okay.
of thing.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of my time went into that. So that's another thing that pushed me forward. I forgot to mention.
Oh, very cool. Have you found in doing any of the video stuff? I'll have to ask you this. Do your kids know the stuff better than you do? I know my daughter does.
Oh yeah, it's funny and sad and something to kind of be proud of, but again, sad. I asked my daughter if she wanted to sing on A Beautiful Winter because it's for her. I wrote that song for her. The story behind that song is devastating for me personally. And I asked if she wanted to sing in it, and she's like, "Yeah, sure, Dad." And we started, she sat here and I showed her the lyrics, and she started crying. She goes, "I can't sing on this, Dad. It's too sad."
Mm,
Like, oh, but she knows all the music very well. I'm
yeah.
like, good, push it in school, get all your kids to like it. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, we don't like that kind of music. I'm like, whatever, dude.
I I know it's. I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. My kids will be coming along. I'm like, oh, I'm interviewing this guy. Listen to this song, and they'll be like, yeah, not really.
What the hell is that? Yeah. My daughter likes K-pop. I'm like, oh, it's so bad. So bad.
So going forward, then July 25th, the album comes out. I think I saw where you have another video coming out right off as well. Correct?
I made a video for every song. They're all going to kind of be dropped out, but I made a premiere. I think it's a week before the album comes out. So the next video will be out in 3 weeks or so.
Okay. Cool. And obviously with no band, there's going to be no touring or anything, correct? You're just going to be working on these other projects that you've got going on?
Yeah, I mean, if we get enough requests to do stuff, if someone calls me and says, "Hey, come play in Sweden," I'll put a band together and I'll come out there. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Excellent. Well, I look forward to hearing, the rest of the album. I'll have to check and see if I got some of those codes and check it out, or maybe I'll just wait. And just to throw in my 2 cents, the t-shirt you're working on, I like the white design with short sleeves myself.
Oh, cool. Yeah, everybody's like fighting with me. I'm like, dude, the white's gonna look awesome because of the blue. It'll look cool,
Yeah.
And I've never done a white shirt, so I kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you ask Zach, he'll give you one of those codes because I gave him 200, so I'm sure he has. You can get the whole album on that.
Very cool. I've been talking with Dan Robinson here of Shroud of Bereavement. The new album, A Beautiful Winter, will be coming out July 25th. 6 songs, 57 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very
cool. It's a long one.
Yeah. Dan, I always like to wind things up with what I call my silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions you've never been asked before. Sound good?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Oh, the Transformers, dude. Decepticons.
Transformers?
I would say specifically Devastator. That was my guy right there.
Favorite old school wrestler?
Ooh, Jake the Snake.
Ah, nice. Very nice. What is a food better as a leftover as opposed to freshly cooked?
Pizza.
Okay, yep.
Hell yeah.
If you could pick a television show to have one of the new songs off of Beautiful Winter placed in, what TV show would you pick?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, very cool. This is going to be a gimme, but I'm going to ask it anyway. New England or Manhattan clam chowder?
New England.
I was going to say, beat in New Hampshire.
Yeah, we got that shit beat.
There you go. First car you bought with your own money?
It was brand new at the time. My first car was brand new that I bought. It was a 1995 S10. And I have a funny story with that because I got a deal. Well, I didn't have a cosigner, which was awesome too at that time. I was only like 18, but they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a deal. It's kind of a weird color, but you can get it cheaper." I'm like, "All right, well, what color is it?" And they said, "It's kind of like mauve or whatever." And I got it. And that was right when fucking Barney, the purple dinosaur, was around. So everybody called me Barney, made fun of me. It was the ugliest looking fucking car ever.
Oh my. Classic.
Yeah, I ended up destroying it though. I tried to put a pallet of block in the back and it wasn't strong enough and I got stuck on a hill. I'm like, fuck this, and I got rid of it.
Ooh, okay. um, if you could speak any language instantly, what language would you pick?
Probably my wife's Romania. Like she's tried to teach me and I know like 4 words and we've been together for I don't know 12 years now and I still can't speak her language. So Romania, just so I can speak to my family back home.
All right. Favorite part of the day?
Morning time, my coffee time with nobody else around, just me sitting there.
Cool.
Like 5:30 in the morning, 4 or 5:30, somewhere in there.
Last one, and this is the one that we have the most fun with. If they were to make a biopic of your life, what actor would you pick to play you? And it's your life, your movie. You can pick anybody.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. How about oh shit, what the hell's his name? The guy from True Detective, the guy that does the car commercials. What is his name? Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Very cool.
Oh, James Hetfield.
Okay. Yeah, I could see
He's an
that. I
actor,
could
but
definitely
I
see
look
that.
like him. Yeah.
Absolutely. I could see that in a heartbeat.
I got banned on Facebook because of James Hetfield.
I read something about that on one of your posts. Yeah. Or in an interview or something. Yeah.
I
Amazing
put a
what
video.
Facebook
Yeah,
is doing.
it's funny as hell. Like it pisses me off, but it's funny that everybody's like, "Oh, you look like James Hetfield. If you guys got in a fight, who would win?" I'm like, "Me. I'd kick his ass." You know, and I get banned for saying that, for bullying James Hetfield.
God, imagine the horror.
Too funny.
Dan, is there anything that I didn't ask you? Anything that you didn't get to mention in this interview that you'd like to? The floor is yours.
No, just subscribe to the YouTube channel, buy the album when it comes out. And if you ever want to get together, man, you're not that far away. We can hang out and have a beer sometime or come to my cookout. I do one every other week or so.
Absolutely. That sounds very, 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 very cool. Like it'd be a good time. So
where in Vermont are you?
I'm up in the little town of well, you could call it Greensboro. Greensboro. I'm about 30 miles north of Barry, Montpelier, 25 miles west of St. Johnsbury, that area in there.
How far are you from like Keene, like the border, New Hampshire border over there?
Oh, I'm quite a ways. I'm like 20 minutes from the Canadian border. I'm way up north. Way up north.
Oh shit. Wow.
I'm way up
north. I was thinking we were neighbors. I guess we're not quite neighbors.
Well, close enough. You're like in Derry, right?
I'm in Sandown, but it's next. Derry's like 15 minutes from my house.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Derry a couple of times. So. But
I grew up there. I went to high school there.
Cool. Well, Dan, good luck going forward. I'm anxious to hear the rest of this album and the next album and any of the other music that you're putting out. It's a great blend of dark sounds that come together with some lyrics that really make me think. I guess it would be, a great imagery.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And it was a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to doing stuff in the future, man. And I wish you the best of luck with your channel. I'll definitely subscribe, and I'll, whenever you post this, I'll post them, and hopefully people I know will follow you.
Right. I'll send you a link right off.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Take care, Dan. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.